and welcome to another episode of Daphne. Now, for this episode, I'm actually taking on the challenge brought by Azrul, who is encouraging Malaysians to take public transportation. So this is the first time I'm actually stepping out of the house without my car keys. And to be honest, the last time I've actually taken public transportation was 17 years ago when my little old kanchil was inside the workshop. So I've actually forgotten how to do it. What do I do first? I guess we'll just start with that side, I guess.
I made sure I had my sunscreen on and good walking shoes for the day because I wasn't too sure just how much walking I'd need to do. Now it's been a while since I've hailed a cab and I waited patiently outside my condo hoping to flag one or two down. I waited and waited and waited until my appointment time with my friend Mark drew too close for comfort.
Hey Silva, Daphne you boleh ambil I ke dari rumah?
Phew, thank goodness for me, my regular airport cab dude Selva was free to pick me up. Now Selva has been a cab driver for 8 years now. I jokingly asked why were all our cabs proton cars, and he told me that it was part of the regulations set by the powers that be. I also asked why were there such irregularities with drivers using meters.
First meter because of passenger. They will ask first how much.
Okay.
First question. When the driver say use meter, no, how much? You tell me how much, then easier. Because when say meter, the driver will take a different direction. You know there's an easy direction can go there, but you say I'm not familiar this side, so I have to use this side. So they go another make turning, then the price of the meter going up.
Selva shares his frustrations with the lack of enforcement by the authorities.
Actually, the problem, no enforcement. This is the problem in taxi business.
Okay.
Why people don't use meter? Why people? They chop the price. See, let's say one distance from Bukit Bintang to KLCC.
Yeah.
This go meter maybe about 5 to 10 ringgit, but they chop about 40 to 50. Because demand. If enforcement always there mean, I think everybody will use the meter. No enforcement. Enforcement only come when they got any complaint from the passenger.
Because he's on the road all day, Selva, like many of the other cab drivers out there, utilizes the highways to cut short their journey.
For the meter taxi, we are trying to use the easier way. Highway is good, but for the short distance, we cannot use highway. We try to just lock any inner road, so we can send the passenger a short time. That's one easier for us. For the long distance only, we inform the passenger. So this place we have to use the highway easier. If they agree, we go.
Selva is also a registered My Taxi driver. Now for those not in the know, My Taxi is a Malaysian taxi booking app. He has no qualms with My Taxi's so-called competitor in the market, the highly controversial Uber app, provided of course that they fulfill the same authority requirements.
People take Uber taxi, they must know first any driver, taxi driver, they must should have the card pemandu approved from the spot. Second, the driver must have the PSP, either license or PSP.
Well, that was good. He was very honest. He had no idea I was going to interview him. Such a good sport. Love him. But that's just it. Where do we go from here? I'm supposed to meet Mark. Let me just give him a call. Again, the only time I come to KL Central is when I have to do a shoot. Well, this is technically a shoot, but I'm supposed to look for some form of transport to get to here, to town now. Kindly proceed to information counter level 1. It really defeats the purpose of having a counter here in front of the entrance and no one's around. Okay, level 1 it is then.
Finally, I find my way to the LRT platform where Mark and his family were waiting. He quickly shows me how to buy my own ticket and off we go onto my popping my LRT cherry mission. Like an excited teen on her first date, I started shooting questions at Mark about his decision on taking the train to work instead of driving.
just for the efficiency. 'Cause if I say you've got to be in the centre of KL for a meeting, if I drive in, it's very unpredictable. There's too many variants in Malaysia, from traffic jams, could be accident, could be the weather, all sorts. So at least public transport, it's a fixed time between stations, so you know you can get there. The challenge for me with public transport is parking, because you look how many stations there are. There's inadequate parking facilities. In London, the public transport network is fantastic. It's been in existence since Queen Victoria's days, so with hundreds of years of experience, it should be efficient. But having said that, you hear every day commuters complaining in central London of delays, many issues they've faced.
They too have their own
Problems. Yeah. I mean, everything is orchestrated in the UK, from the time you leave your house to the time you'll arrive at the station to the time your train should be there, then your connecting train.
Right.
So you just lose 1 or 2 minutes along the way, and that's it, you're out.
I absolutely agree with you, Mark. There's definitely more room for improvement. Next up, I meet my friend Elaine, who gets me back to KL Central, but this time around, we go on the monorail. Now, Elaine lives in Kajang, and she takes a commuter daily to her office at Mid-Valley. Just like Mark, Elaine shares her grievances with the lack of parking space at the station.
If you want to park at the station, you have to be there at least before 7, latest by 7, to get a parking space, because it's very limited.
She also talks about timing issues with the commuter.
When it's off-peak, that's when the trains are not reliable in terms of timing.
In terms of timing, yes.
Shouldn't it be like when it's peak hours, then it gets a little bit haywire because everyone's trying to jump on the train and stuff? It's crazy.
I don't know, I guess for like rush hours, they feel the pressure to be on time, because everybody has to be on time, right, to get to work and school and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
However, it's not all complaints from
Yeah,
Elaine.
actually that's one of the things that's quite recent that I'm quite pleased with KTM. They have the female coach.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you get men in the train, but they get stared at.
Not to sound like a snoot, but I'm not too keen on the idea of smelling other people's armpits. So Elaine shares her tip when dealing with this.
Especially in the morning it's fine. That's when everybody's fresh. So after work, you get all sorts of smell in the train.
So how do you tolerate that?
You just have to tahan lah.
You're not one of those who wears a mask or...
You just steer your nose away, like from the source of the smell.
Feeling a bit famished with my quest to know our public transportation better, Elaine and I took a quick detour at this restaurant.
Balan, this better be good. We met this complete stranger on the monorail, and he suggested this place at Brixfield. Okay, so our little detour has unfortunately made me a little bit sleepy, but we must continue our travels, and you're going to show me around the KTM, right?
To Mid-Valley.
To Mid-Valley, okay.
Off to Mid-Valley.
Now all was fine and dandy until the ticket machine annoyingly refuses our notes and coins. Luckily for us, the wait at the queue was bearable. Now what happened next though took me by surprise.
Yeah, they're not working anymore, so people get away.
Kena check sana ke? Halal. Kenapa dia tak working Kenapa dia tak working?
Ooh, touche. Now KTM, take note. Apparently your autogate is permanently non-auto. Oh well, I decided nothing or nobody was going to bring my spirits down. I decided to relive my Harry Potter craze days, and that definitely cheered me up.
You guys seriously need to get a life.
I wanted to experience the female-only coach, but because hubby was our cameraman, that idea was quickly thrown out of the window.
Actually, it's not too shabby. It's okay.
This is a new coach.
Oh, this is a new coach.
There are old cocks.
This is a good coach.
Hey, now before you get any ideas, in Bahasa, coach in Malay is spelled K-O-C. So I was just, pronouncing it like how it's spelled. Anyway, moving on, I bid Elaine goodbye at the mall after she showed me how to use the Uber app. I was pretty lucky to get an Uber black car for an Uber X price. I met up with my Uber driver, Mr. Bong, yes, spelled B-O-N-G. Now, what is Uber? Well, it basically uses a smartphone application to connect passengers with drivers of vehicles for hire, from the budget Uber X to the more luxurious Uber black cars. Now, there is this misconception that Uber has been banned here in Malaysia, which got die-hard Uber fans going vocal and setting up "We love Uber! We love Uber" fan pages. I kid you not. Talking to Bong, I can see why Uber fans are in love with Uber.
Uber actually giving a very good service
Yep.
with a luxury car, high car with low rates.
Yep.
But sometimes also we meet a client also don't appreciate it. I have your particular, you also have my particular.
Yep.
So
Cannot
you
lali.
yeah.
Cannot
So driving you to anyway, most of the people they say okay lah, they more security lah, more safe lah. So anything maybe you sometimes you have left anything behind, also you can
Call us straight
call
away.
and find back your things lah.
Not only do we get nicer wheels, the added security is comforting. There's also no cash transaction as everything is charged on your card. Plus, they are forced to use a GPS meter system of some sort, so you don't feel like you're being bullshitted.
It is 3:10. This marks the end of my journey taking public transportation for the whole day, and I must say that I am actually pleasantly surprised. Of course, there were a few glitches here and there, like unable to hail a cab where I currently stay and I had to call. But other than that, it was amazing. However, as mentioned by Mark and Elaine earlier, there are room for improvement, and with that, what are some of the other ways we can help to reduce traffic congestion here in the Klang Valley? Is it possible that we can have more room for road expansions and more highways? Well, we'll find out in our next episode.